Hi, Nana's thinking about you. This book is about an artist. Her name is Georgia. When I was 12 years old, I knew that I wanted to be an artist. I have always known what I wanted. When I was small, I played alone for hours and hours. I was satisfied to be all by myself. I did things other people don't do. When my sisters wore sashes, I didn't. When my sisters wore stockings, I wore none. And when my sisters wore braids, I let my black hair fly. There she is. So she did things differently than everybody else. And we'll find out that that is okay. You don't have to be like everybody else. I rode to town every Saturday to copy pictures from the stack in the art teacher's cupboard. At home, I looked out my window and drew pictures of what I saw. That's a good way to practice. Just draw pictures of what you're looking at. Maybe I could make something beautiful. At school in Chicago, I drew from statues in the museum. At school in New York, I painted one still life painting a day, every day. At school, I painted my teacher's ideas. But when school days were over, I went out into the wide world to discover my own ideas. I went to the Texas plains, the wild west of my childhood books. You have never seen sky. It is wonderful. I walked into the sunset. I felt the wind across the plains. And I painted the sunset and the sky and the wonderful loneliness and emptiness of the place. I painted day and night. I worked till my head all felt light in the top. I have things in my head that are not like what anyone has taught me, shapes and ideas. But I bundled up my paintings and went to New York City to be where other artists lived. Excuse me. I walked down in the canyons of steel. Do you know what these canyons of steel are? These are the tall buildings in New York City. She called them the canyons of steel. I lived high up in the clouds and painted from what I saw in the window. But sometimes what I saw from my window was the far away calling to me. I painted a garden in the city. I wanted everyone to see flowers the way I saw them. I looked closely at the flowers. Look how close she's looking. She's not looking at them from far away, is she? She's looking at them really close up. I painted a camellia. I painted it so big so people would notice. And I painted a jack in the pulpit. I painted it big so people would see. I painted poppies and petunias and sunflowers and jimson weeds and irises and apple blossoms. My garden bloomed until everyone saw the flowers the way I saw them. But still, I looked to the sky. The distance has always been calling me. I went to the New Mexico desert, so far away that no one ever comes. I was satisfied to be all by myself. It was too dry for the flowers to grow, but there were bones. Excuse me. Nana has a little bit of a cough. I gathered the bones, big bones, little bones, short bones, long bones, a cow's skull, a horse's skull, and a ram's skull, and brought the bones home to paint. One day I held one up against the sky and saw the blue through that hole, and I painted what I saw. I saw the sky and the red hills. I walked in the hills at daybreak and twilight, at noon and in starlight. I painted the arms of two red hills, reaching out to the sky and holding it. I painted the Pedernal Mountain in the far away. I painted it over and over and over again, and then again and again. God told me if I painted that mountain enough, he'd give it to me. I drove my Model A across the desert and back and up and down over hills. I painted in my studio on wheels until the afternoon bees chased me home. Even in winter, I went far out into the far away and painted in the bitter cold. I painted when the wind was so strong it nearly blew me away. I did things other people don't do. I climbed my ladder to the night sky to wait for the sun. I slept under the stars to see the morning sky when I woke. I stayed in the desert. My hair turned from black to gray, to white as the bones. I still walked the red hills. Excuse me. My pile of bones grew. My flowers bloomed in the desert, and the Pedernal was mine. And the sky, oh, it was still beautiful. I painted the sky one more time. I painted my sky big so people would see the sky the way I did. I worked from dawn to dusk every day for weeks and months. Look how big that painting is. She has to stand on something to reach the top. Then as I painted the last cloud, the sun slipped behind the Pedernal. I laid my brushes down. Kiss the sky for me. That was Georgia O'Keeffe, and she painted things very big. And she lived her life the way she wanted to live her life. She didn't do things the way other people did things, and she was always thinking about painting, always painting. In the morning and in the night, she practiced, and that's how she got so good. I hope you enjoyed that story about Georgia O'Keeffe. I enjoyed reading it to you. Thanks for listening. I love you guys. Mwah.